Mackenzie Johnston with Livestock Digital Daily, bringing you your October 5th cattle industry headlines. Brought to you by AgRisk Advisors. They help you manage your risk so you can manage your operation. With over 20 years of experience, AgRisk Advisors offers honest and transparent advice. They offer insurance solutions that help you minimize risk and maximize profitability. They might not be able to make it rain, but they can sure ease the pain. If you would like to learn about pasture, rangeland, forage insurance, go ahead and reach out to AgRisk Advisors. They can help you understand what PRF insurance is all about and everything it can do for your operation. Drovers has reported Garland Nelson of Bramer, Missouri will serve 2 consecutive life sentences without possibility of parole after he pled guilty this past Friday for the 2019 murders of Nicholas and Justin Diemel of Wisconsin. Nelson, who is 28, admitted to shooting the brothers, burning their bodies, and then hiding their remains. In exchange for his plea, charges of abandonment of a corpse, tampering with physical evidence, armed criminal action, and tampering with a motor vehicle were dropped. 2 years ago, right after the murders, the state planned to seek the death penalty if Nelson was convicted of these killings, but obviously, judgment did not go that way. Nelson entered a business agreement with Diemel Livestock where he agreed to feed and pasture cattle and sell them on the Missouri farm that he was living and working on that was owned by his mother. The proceeds from those sales were then obviously supposed to be sent to Diemel Livestock, Nick and Justin. Between November of 2018 and April of 2019, the Diemels sent Nelson several loads of cattle, and he allegedly sold, traded, or killed those cattle without sending payment to the brothers. Nelson continued to fraudulently bill the Diemels for feed and yardage for the cattle that were no more, for whatever reason. Nick Diemel continued to press Nelson for payment, and he eventually quit sending him cattle. Court documents show that Nelson sent the Diemels a $215,936 bad check. When he sent this check, he had 21 cents in his account. So in an attempt to collect what was theirs, unfortunately, the brothers traveled to Nelson's farm on July 21st of 2019, and they were never seen again. Prosecutors said Nelson, he shot the brothers, and then he drove their pickup off of his farm. He told authorities he put the brothers' bodies in a couple of 55-gallon barrels and then burned them. He then proceeded to dump their remains on a manure pile and hid the barrels on his property. The remains were later found in Missouri and in a livestock trailer in Lincoln County, Nebraska that had originally been purchased in Missouri. In 2020, the families of the victims reached a $2 million settlement in a wrongful death lawsuit filed against Nelson, his mother, Tommy File, and the family's cattle business, J4S Enterprises. When Nelson killed the brothers, he was on parole after serving 17 months in federal prison for an October 2016 conviction for cattle and insurance fraud. This update is also sponsored by Circle 5 Cow School. If you want to learn how to preg check your own cows or start AIing, Circle 5 Cow School is definitely the way to go. Here in a couple weeks, on October 14th and 15th, they're going to be hosting a school down in Pueblo, Colorado. If you're in that area, I encourage you to check it out. And if you just want to check out their schedule, head on over to circle5cowschool.com. That is the number 5 in there. Or you can go ahead and just give them a follow on Facebook. NTV News out of Kearney, Nebraska has reported over the weekend a fire that started in the National Forest near Halsey, Nebraska burned 15,000 acres. High winds and severe drought fueled the flames through Sunday afternoon and into early Monday morning. The fire began in the forest, but it quickly jumped Highway 2 and proceeded to burn across ranches before firefighters were able to gain some kind of containment. Luckily, Monday did bring rain to the area. Besides the thousands of acres that were burned, the National Forest lost its lookout tower, the 4-H lodge, and many other buildings. But most notably, our community lost Mike Moody, 59, of Purdom, while he was battling the blaze. The National Forest is a one-of-a-kind wonder, as it is a hand-planted forest. The forest in the area has not seen such a devastating fire since 1965. Of course, the losses from this fire are terrible. The acres that are burned, the buildings that are gone, it's absolutely devastating, but it is such a loss to our community that Mike Moody passed away while he was fighting this fire. And my thoughts and prayers go out to the Moody family. I would like to say a big thanks to all the firefighters that showed up to the area to battle the blaze. It was obviously a terrible situation, but to see a community pull together, to see everyone show up to help, it's always great. It's always great to see. This update is also sponsored by U.S. Cattlemen's Association. They're going to host their 15th annual meeting this December, the 8th through the 10th in Nashville, Tennessee. If you want to learn more about this, head on over to www.uscattlemen.org. Finally, Feedstuffs has reported, according to the USDA Economic Research Service, per capita consumption of dairy grew by 12.4 pounds per person over the last year, continuing a near 50-year growth trend. The average American consumed 667 pounds of dairy on a milk fat basis in 2021 versus 539 pounds in 1975 when data first started being collected. Products that have seen the most growth include American type cheese, butter, and yogurt. Besides incredible domestic growth, record U.S. dairy exports have fueled increased demand. If this trend continues, the United States will soon be the world's leading supplier of affordable, sustainable dairy nutrition. That is all I have for you guys this morning. I hope everyone's week is going well. I'll catch you on Friday morning.